John 14:27. Peace I leave with you, my peace I give to you. Not as the world gives do I give to you. Let not your heart be troubled, neither let it be afraid. So fear not.
Our passage this morning is from Psalm 56. When I am afraid, I put my trust in you, in God, whose word I praise. In God I trust, and I am not afraid. What can mere mortals do to me? So fear not.
Psalm 27:1. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? So fear not.
Psalms 91:5 says, "You need not fear the terrors of the night, nor the arrows that fly by day. So fear not."
Isaías 41:10. Portanto, não temas, porque eu estou contigo. Não fique desanimado, pois eu sou o seu Deus. Eu o fortalecerei e ajudarei. Eu te sustentarei com a minha mão direita. Now in English, Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10. So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. So, fear not.
Second Chronicles 20:17 says, "You will not need to fight in this battle. Position yourselves, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord who is with you, O Judah and Jerusalem. Do not fear or be dismayed. Tomorrow, go out against them, for the Lord is with you. So, fear not."
Well, hey, everybody.
Hello.
Woo! Boy, thank you so much for joining us tonight, y'all. We got 105 people right now. Now, listen, all y'all on here right now, you know how to share a YouTube video. Don't tell me you don't, because we get texts from everybody, YouTube videos all the time. Share this YouTube, even though it's live. Text it to people. Let them know that you're here. How's everybody doing?
Wonderful.
Doing well.
Wonderful.
Present accounted for.
Everyone's quarantine hair is still good.
Oh my gosh, it's getting so. I need a haircut so bad. I'm gonna start cutting it myself.
Well, I came real close to putting the bowl on my head and just going all the way around.
I've got my hair as a witness right now. It points to the sky, exactly where I want to be.
Yeah. Hey, everyone on YouTube, let us know where you're from. Tell us, say something in the comments. Say hi. Hey, Tracy Wusterhausen. Dwana Clark. Hey, listen, y'all know Dwana. It's Dwana's birthday today.
Oh, hey, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dwana.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Dwana. Happy birthday. Not happy birthday,
Donna.
but hello, Arlene Russ. Kristen Cornish is on. Hey, Kristen. You mix up Kristen and Cornish. You say Christian. It's so weird. Oh. So what's new with everyone? What's been going on? I haven't seen you in a hot minute. I got my Hope Wishful Thinking shirt on. Per Sharon's wish, Ludwig is now making a debut.
Oh.
And he is now done.
He said, "I've had enough. That's enough TV for me. I'm out."
Let me go let him out. Come on.
He's upset he didn't get his own box. Come on. Let him have his own box.
God, I didn't want to talk to you anyway. Do what?
He's used to having his way.
Yeah.
He is used to having his way. Spoiled, slap, rotten. Randy Negley from upstate New York, good to see you. Hello. Southern Gospel Music up north, from up north. That's our friends from Wisconsin. Richard McGinnis.
Richard.
Good to see you, Richard. Thank you all for joining us. Tonight we're going to talk about a brand new song, Fear Not. Y'all, we're so excited about this song. Not only is it timely, but it's just a really good song. Many of you have heard it. Thank you to those who participated in reading those verses. Each one of you. We still have more, so they'll be popping up on social media intermittently here as we go. But before we get started, let me say this. We're giving away another t-shirt tonight. We're giving away another shirt. Another I've Been Blessed shirt. Brand new design. Brand new color. Oh, I'm so excited.
New material, softer fabric.
New material, softer fabric. And we're giving away a brand new Living the Stories CD with the song, actually, Fear Not, on it. And next month's #1 song, The Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch.
Yeah.
Oh, we're so excited about it. Pardon me. Thank you all so much for making that happen.
Yes.
Oh, CJ Friels. Connie says, Gary doesn't have a suit on. Gary, yeah, where's your suit?
Yeah.
Well,
At the cleaners.
it's at the cleaners. That's right. It's still on the
I've been
bus.
it so many times. So many times you had to have it pressed.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Well, listen, how you win. The 30th person to subscribe to Tribute's YouTube channel wins the shirt and the CD. But you have to hit the subscribe and hit the little bell. At the end of the night, we'll let you know who won. We'll let you know who won before we get off here. We'll only go about an hour or so on here. So stay with us all night because you will want to know who wins the shirt and the CD. So the 30th person to subscribe to the channel wins the CD and the shirt. Easy as that. So let's get down to business. Gus, I have a picture.
Oh, yes.
I have a picture. I haven't put it up yet.
Well,
Shall I
the
share
honeydew
this?
list-
Shall I share this picture?
Well, I'm fine with it. I don't know if Gary's going to survive you sharing this picture.
He sent this picture to us this week, and I think it's share worthy. Gus, you got to tell us about this.
Well, the honeydew list has got quite lengthy as we have been in quarantine. As she walks through, she finds other things to add to the list. And so one of the things was we had this outdoor shed that we were going to start cleaning out. There were these tubs in there that I kept saying, I don't know what's in them. I don't know what's in them. Well, found out it was all of our stuff. And in one of these tubs, she's sorting through, and she goes, oh, look at this. I found a picture of you and your son. Now, mind you, my son is 28 years old now. And she hands me this, and he's maybe a little over a year old. But this was prior to me moving to the Nashville area and prior to me cutting my hair.
Obviously.
So it's quite a different look. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, we're loving the mullet.
Yeah, you like that?
Why did you get rid? My question is, did you name the mullet?
I did not, but you know what the crazy thing is I actually cut it off before I came here because I thought it would be better for business. Everybody back here with a mullet. I'm like, I didn't fit in.
The career you could have had.
Oh, think of it.
I'm glad I didn't see this before I hired you.
Faulty pot.
Oh, Marilyn Norfield says, hey.
Hey, Marilyn.
Say it, Marilyn. We love you. Yeah, now I have my shirt. People were commenting on my shirt. I have my wishful thinking shirt on tonight. This is my, I hope we can get out and get in the sun and go somewhere fun shirt. But It is
It's
spring.
funny that you said that because I was just thinking that where you might be going with that look is on a cruise. But I'm also in the sweatshirt from Key West that I bought in Key West this year when we were on the cruise because it was like 37 degrees there, it felt like. So I'm in my cruise attire also.
Hey, you are not right with the temperature. It was not a step over 33, and you know it.
I'm telling you, it was brisk.
Yeah.
It was brisk.
Hey, Gary, are you ready to go on the cruise?
Absolutely. Listen, I would cruise every month if somebody'd go with me. Absolutely.
Every month?
Looking forward to it. Matter of fact, we've got a couple cruises that we'll be doing next year. And
tell them about it.
Well, you go ahead and tell them about it, but we do a couple of them every year. The Abraham Production Cruise, Crystal Caribbean, and then we do the Singing at Sea. And I'd love for folks to go with us. By the time we get out of this quarantine, we'll all be ready to go on the cruise.
Yes.
Boy, that's the truth. And y'all can learn more about it. You see that link right there, tributequartet.com/cruise. You can learn all about it.
But I think we've all been eating like we've been on a cruise since we've been in.
Well, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm honestly, I'm fretting putting on the suits. See, people, listen, y'all, y'all joining us on YouTube, listen, all of you want to feed us all the time. And we have nothing against it because we love to eat. But you got to understand, we got to still fit in our suits. And what stinks about this quarantine thing is we're eating like y'all been feeding us.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, the other day at the arrangement, he brought some smoked bologna down that he had done, and he blessed the Geisha's house with 2 slices, one of which I sliced it in half and made a sandwich for Tamara and a sandwich for myself that night for dinner. The other slice didn't make it another 8 hours or 12 hours. It was gone by the end of the day. So, flies out, Anthony, anytime you're ready to replenish.
My question is, Anthony, did you make the smoked bologna? Did you smoke it yourself?
Yeah.
How'd you keep it lit?
Well, it's all in the paper. You roll it in. Big paper.
Big paper.
Poster board. I did that. Actually, I've done a few different sticks, 5-pound sticks at 5 pounds at a time. And so I've done a few of those. But when we had that meeting the other day, I figured I would bring you guys some. And so far, I've gotten all good rave reviews about it. So I guess y'all are a cheap bunch to feed if I do it that way.
Okay, so my question, and I know the question of everybody right now is, what meeting and what arrangement were we talking about? What are y'all talking about?
Well, Gary, you can probably answer that.
Yeah, share this one. No, what you didn't know, Gary, is we played an ad from a CD that we have out called Tribute Quartet's Quartet Tribute. We actually played that in the standby. So, go.
Right, the old song, Move That Mountain. We did Tribute Quartet Tribute project, our very first one, about 2 years ago, I guess, and produced by Mr. Gerald Wolf. And we just needed some of the old songs. And we were actually doing the Great Western Fan Fest out in California. And I was talking to Gerald, and I said, Gerald, what are we missing in our program? He said, you need some of the old songs. I said, well, let's do one. So it just happened. Our A&R director was there. I walked across the building, said, hey, this is what we need to do. And 2 weeks later, we was in the studio and we did our very first project. And so now we're looking at doing volume 2. So we're trying to choose songs, do arrangements, and maybe have that out by late summer, early fall.
Yeah. Volume 2, it'll be louder.
It'll be the same folks that say it's too loud.
It's too loud. No, or my favorite is this CD as loud as the concert? Hey, Melissa says, "Oh, mother of all mullets, eat your heart out, Billy Ray Cyrus." I think she's just now seeing the
Hey,
picture.
Melissa, you should have seen the back. Lord, my
yeah.
back was longer than the front.
Hey, we got somebody from Brazil. Hello, Frio, Brazil. Rafael from Brazil. Hey, listen, for those of you just joining us, we're doing a giveaway tonight. We're doing a giveaway tonight, and we're going to announce the winner at the end. Right before we leave, we will announce the winter.
We're going to announce the winter.
We're going to announce the winter.
It'll be right after Josh's fall.
We're going to announce the winner. We're going to announce the winner. And but the way you win is by subscribing to Tribute Quartet's YouTube channel. The 30th person to subscribe wins a free t-shirt and a free Living the Story CD with the brand new single Fear Not on it. And our number one song for May, The Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch.
Hey, and let me say something about that. I am so excited, first of all, that the fans love the song, and the radio station and all the DJs for playing that song, especially in a time that we're all facing right now. But we still, on a daily basis, get reports of how that song is helping them through this time, even as we speak. And that's exciting that a song will still be impactful even after it passes and gets number one, and moves on. But I'm thankful for that God entrusted us with a song like that.
Yeah, and Gus had such a killer performance on that, too.
Oh, thank you.
Very first song with Tribute Quartet as the tenor singer, and it goes number one. My goodness.
That speaks to the incredible group that I sing with and the incredible song. That is an amazing song. What an amazing, amazing message of hope. Hope is a powerful, powerful thing, and we've all come to experience that in some way or another. And to get the opportunity to share that with people is such an honor. That's just an amazing thing.
Well, look, as long as you make them number one, we'll keep being your backup singers. I don't mind at all.
No, thank you. No, thank you.
I remember telling you, I said, hey, we're going to send this song out first. And for 5 months, as it was really being played heavy, every week he'd get on the bus and say, I'm not sure about this. Maybe we shouldn't have done this song.
Hey, you know how it is. You don't want to be the guy that sinks the ship. It's like that's what you're praying. Don't let me be the guy that takes it to a new level of low.
That's what I pray for.
If we all keep eating the way we do, we're all going to sink the ship.
Speaking of a new level of low, I have something. Is this a good time, Josh?
Well, sure.
Well,
good time.
I have something that,
yes.
If you ask any tenor singer, we all want to be the bass. That's always been the case, okay? And it actually is good because, longevity in a group, Lord Almighty, outside 110-degree temperature in a suit, bass singer doesn't sweat. Why? Okay, so it's like, the rest of us have to work for a living. He's just, So I have been pondering this all through this, quarantine situation, and I have been working on some bass stuff that, Anthony, I think you're going to be shaking in your shoes, my friend, because I found something that's going to allow me to compete for your job here. I got a mic. Are you ready for this? I don't want to, freak you out, but check this out. I could go on for days.
Hey, get closer to your mic so we can really hear it.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Follow that.
That's it. No, I don't want it.
Friends, being quarantined this long is what caused that.
You can't get stuff like that on normal television.
No, you can't.
I sure hope not.
I'll bring it next time we're on the bus. Whenever I'll bring it with me so that we can have a little deep dive playoff.
Hey,
It won't
listen.
take much.
Floyd Bone says, "Are you guys ready for a Whataburger as much as I am? Come to the Houston area and I'll buy you one."
Woo!
Absolutely. We're
Deal.
on our way.
That's a great offer.
So we have to. I will ask this question for the general public. You all let us know, and guys, y'all let the people know too. Which do you like better, Whataburger or In-N-Out? Go and discuss.
This is such a difficult question because
In-N-Out.
they're both very good, but yeah, Gus is In-N-Out all the way. I think they're both hamburgers, and in that they are both the same, but they're just not in the same category. I mean, other than hamburgers,
it's
and I
apples
think
and
for
oranges.
what they both are, I think they're both fantastic.
Exactly.
If it's got to be one or the other, it's for me, it's In-N-Out.
I
those
think you said that perfectly because they're not comparable. They're two different things, and they are both fantastic. I love In-N-Out. If I had to pick one or the other, I would pick In-N-Out, but I love Whataburger as well.
Yeah. Gary?
I plead the fifth.
Gary is Switzerland.
Yeah. For those who don't know what an In-N-Out is, it's a burger from the West Coast. They have them in. They do have them in Dallas.
No, it's a burger facility. It just one on the West Coast doesn't make it an In-N-Out burger.
Oh, that's true. That's true. It's a brand. Marilyn Milliner says In-N-Out. Oh,
Marilyn,
John
she was a smart
Snodgrass
lady.
says you left out Brahms.
Oh,
Brahms
that's
does have a good one,
now we're getting into a whole other category with burger, fries, and milkshakes, which is a whole
Absolutely.
other category.
Marianne
John,
Oglesby
Matt,
Southerly says,
turn up.
"Whataburger, are you crazy?"
Yeah.
Now, Marianne, what does that mean? Is that for Whataburger or against Whataburger?
Amber Gainey, my sister, says, "Never had either."
She needs to get out more.
That's a sad existence.
Yeah, it's because you got to get out of Florida and Georgia. Well, you have been to Alaska, but they don't have them in Alaska.
You know,
Both of them
Brahms.
will be at the marriage supper of the Lamb.
Which one?
Both of them.
They'll be over at the
Brahms
burger bar.
reminds me of when you went to youth camp as a kid, and the snack shack that was only open.
Oh,
after
yeah.
that evening. That's what Brahms reminds me of. Those were always, great
Bombs?
burgers.
Brahms. Yeah, Bombs.
Yeah. Yee.
Oh, so listen, for those joining us, good to see you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us. After, we're going to take a break here in just a minute. Not quite yet. We're going to take a break here in just a minute. Oh, now Kyle Johnson said Five Guys. Ooh. Now, Kyle, you're talking my. I do love me some Five Guys burgers and fries. Yeah. Stay with us. We're doing a giveaway. The 30th person to
Tell them
subscribe.
how to win and about this commercial, because the warden's going to be back by in a little while, and I'm going to be pulled out of this community area down at the facility. I'm in the big house. You know what this.
Oh, that's what it does look like, doesn't it?
You get to pray.
Dinner will be by in about 20 minutes. So
Are they gonna slide it under the door?
I hope.
We're giving away a shirt, and we're giving away a brand new Living the Stories CD with the song Fear Not on it. When we come back from the break, though, we're going to have the songwriters with us.
Yes.
Oh.
We're going to have all three songwriters, Kenna West, Tony Wood, who joined us last time, and Wayne Hahn, who also produced this amazing record. So we're so excited. Oh, Cookout. Now, David D says Cookout, good and cheap.
That's just a watermelon milkshake waiting to happen right there. July and August, ladies and gentlemen. If you've not had a watermelon milkshake, it will change your life. So be sure to stop by. July and August is when they have them. And Cookout, I don't know about their burgers, but I can tell you the watermelon milkshake will change your life.
It's a shame. It's a shame they're not on the sponsor list.
Tell us.
Really.
There is no sponsor list. What sponsor list? Oh. So, what else, guys? What else has been going on? Anything new? Any new hobbies that anyone discovered? Anyone have a mishap? Listen, I don't know what's been going on. 3 days this week. 3. I've had, let's see, Monday I had a bird fly in the house. I had a fiasco with that. I thought it went away. Ludwig finally caught it. I had to pick the feathers out of his mouth. The bird took off. I couldn't find it, and it was back that night. And so I chased it all over the house. Finally got it out of the house.
He was still in the house? You
Huh?
just didn't find him. He was
Yeah,
still
I
in
just didn't
the
find
house?
him. Ludwig didn't even find him. Couldn't hear him or see him. Crazy. So it was gone. The next day was okay. The day after that, Callie gets up around 6:30 or so. I was waking up about 7, and our wall in our closet and the wall behind the stove in the kitchen is the same wall. All of a sudden, I hear.
Oh.
Now I'm half asleep. So I mean, it sort of processed, but sort of didn't process. I'm like, eh. Ludwig was wide awake, staring at the closet. Callie comes in and says, "I think we have more wildlife behind the stove." I said, wow. in my sleep stupor, I said, "Okay, I'll take care of it." She goes, "Seriously?" And proceeds to walk. I said, "Okay, I'll be there." So I get out there, y'all. The stove is that far from the wall. The microwave is about that high from the top of the back of the stove. Okay? I pull the stove out. There is another bird. This one is bigger. It flies out, misses Callie's head. She falls on the ground. Oh! Scares her to death. I open up the back door. It flies out. Yesterday, Callie was working in her office. Ludwig was laying on the couch in her office. And all of a sudden, right up against the window, a bird flew right into the window. I can't figure out what's going on with the wildlife around my house.
This feels like the script to a movie, and there's
It's the weirdest thing. Oh, Brittany Baker said that is too funny. My uncle has had a rabbit in his house before, hiding in his closet.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Hey, Gary, what would you done if there was a rabbit in your closet?
Rabbit, I'll be okay. I just get it and take it out. The bird is a different story.
What if it was a mouse?
I would move. I would sell the house. Absolutely sell it.
Oh.
Well, I don't think I've really done anything other than just eating entirely too much. Like, it's amazing to me how, just because we're sort of bored, how much we can, like, what do you do? Well, I just ate, so let me eat again, you know? I mean, other than the work release program that, you know, we sort of like a chain gang, you know, they take you out on every day between about 9 o'clock in the morning until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But, you know,
yes.
As long as you don't try to make a break for it or get free, they're pretty good about not shooting you with a shotgun.
It really does. The more you talk about it, it does look like a cell wall. I don't know where you are, but that's hilarious.
Listen, you wheel in a spotlight and start some interrogation.
Yeah, it's really not the color that it looks like on the actual wall, but the more I look at it in this computer screen, the more I think, boy, it really looks like I'm in jail. Well, Gary, by the time they call all this Corona stuff off, maybe I'll be, you know, out. If you could just send a little bail money, I'd appreciate it.
What bail money? It's all this Corona stuff going on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. When we come back, we're going to we're going to talk to the songwriters of Fear Not. We're going to play our lyric video. If you haven't seen it yet, now is your chance. Share this video. Click the share, text it to people, post it to your Facebook. Y'all know how to share YouTube videos. Share it. Tell people. We need more people watching. Also, while we're at commercial, be sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. The 30th person to subscribe tonight will win a brand new I've Been Blessed t-shirt. Hadn't even been out on the road yet. Why? Because we hadn't even been out on the road yet. The CD and the CD Living the Stories, which has the current single Fear Not on it, and our current #1 for the month of May. The Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch. Stay with us. Go sign up. Share this video. We'll be right back.
He who counts the stars and knows them all by name sees you where you are and feels your deepest pain. So when you feel alone and life becomes too hard,
We are so excited about our brand new project, Living the Stories. We were able to go and find 10 songs from incredible songwriters that has entrusted us with these songs. And we're just excited to share them with you and our new lineup, our new tenor singer, Mr. Gus Gacious, our first album with him. And hey folks, here's a sneak preview.
He brought such love to those back then, and I felt it time and time again. I will forever praise the man from Galilee.
I love the recording process. It's always interesting to me to go from what a song sounds like in a demo to what it becomes later on. I have a difficult time hearing that. You know, these guys can hear it. Gus has been in the studio a lot. You hear a demo and you think, oh man, we could do this and we could do this. And I'm sort of stuck to what I'm listening to. And so it's always interesting to me to see from start to finish what a track becomes and how the vocals are built and how that song becomes, it takes a new life and in the entire aspect of going from a demo and just a songwriter's idea to what the song becomes when it's a finished product. It always just amazes me at how it takes on a new life from start to finish.
If your home is a wind in glory, 'cause here on earth the Lord has set you free, you won't rest till the whole world knows. Well, somebody tell about the love and mercy waiting for the lost at Calvary. Somebody tell, somebody tell, somebody tell. This old world needs to know about Jesus, so you can't keep it to yourself. Somebody tell, somebody tell, somebody tell.
Hey, I hope you're enjoying this sneak peek, but I want to take a second to tell you about one of my favorite songs. And this actually was a precursor to kind of where we found the title for the CD. It really kind of embodies it and wraps up kind of the CD in a very special way. The song is called Stories This Water Could Tell. It's a fantastic picture of what happens when you get baptized, what happens when you go into that stream, and the symbolization of and the picture that it creates of you getting your sins washed clean. The picture that those lyrics make really is profound, and the story is just an interesting thought, interesting twist on, could you imagine how much this water, if it could talk, what it would say? All the sin, all the stories, all the background stories that people have had. And on this note, here's a sneak peek at the actual song, The Stories This Water Could Tell.
There are centuries and histories carried in this stream. stories this water could tell. Stories this water could tell.
I hope you're enjoying these songs from our brand new project, Living the Stories. When we heard this next song, we knew it definitely was Mr. Gus Geisha's song. I hope you enjoy it. Listen as he sings, "The Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch."
The healer hasn't lost his touch. He's still the Almighty, the unchanging God of power. He's still showing up. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I know this much. The healer hasn't lost his touch.
Man, what an incredible message. I absolutely love getting to sing that song. Such a powerful message. Thank you guys for bringing that to the table. I love getting to be with Tribute Quartet. It's such an honor, and so happy to be here. And thank you to all of my friends that have been contacting and people that I haven't seen in a long time. And you've been coming back and seeing what it is that we're doing, and I'm so excited to get to share this project with you and for you to get to hear this incredible group and these incredible songs.
Hey folks, we hope you've enjoyed this segment of some of the songs off of our brand new project, Living the Stories. Go out, purchase it. All the information will be right here at the bottom of the screen. We hope to see you on the road. God bless.
If you're feeling unworthy, then welcome to grace. If you're needing some mercy, you're in the right place. If you know without Jesus you don't have a prayer, come on in. Pull up a chair.
This is called Seawalker, all the Hensons. Well, when I go to see St. Peter on that far and distant shore, and I'm through with things in life that make me sin, there'll be someone there to meet me and to greet me at the door. Open wide those pearly gates, I'm coming in. You see that seed walker, that blind man healer, that leper cleansing man from Galilee. I'll see that soul saver, the one who set me free. Take my hand and follow me.
All my friends and my relation will be waiting there, I know, and my dear old mother, she'll be waiting too. Well, I'm getting ready, brother. Yes, I'm making plans to go. Open wide those pearly gates, I'm coming home.
You see that seed walker, that blind man healer, that leper cleansing man from Galilee. I'll see that soul saver, the one who set me free. Shake my hand and follow me. To see that seed walker, that blind man healer, that leper cleansing man from Galilee. I'll see that soul saver, the one who set me free. Take my hand and follow me. Take my hand.
Come on, take my hand.
Take my hand and follow me.
That was the amazing, legendary Hensons. I love that song, Seawalker. Such a great song, featuring the recently homegoing Larry Henson. For those who have not heard, he passed yesterday. Our hearts are so saddened. But to be quite honest, I actually kind of envy him right now. I'm ready to get out of here and let's just quit worrying about all this mess. Gus, I know you all were, you and Tam were close to Larry and Jana. And Kenna, Tony, Wayne, thank y'all for joining us. These are the songwriters for Fear Not. I don't. Here's the. I didn't know them very well. Matter of fact, I wasn't a fan of their music because I'd never heard it, being from where I'm from, and until I got on the road and got some music. So I know everyone has Henson stories and times being with them. And Gus, I know you are really close to Larry, and our hearts are with you and Tam. I know this is really tough right now.
Yeah, everybody, I've been seeing on Facebook about the last week actually a couple of weeks where people have been doing, this records that influenced them, 10 records that influenced them. And I think I could name 10 Henson records that influenced me. The Live and On Stage project, From Out of the West They Came, I was at both of those nights as a kid. And I used to sit and open that. If you open that double album up, the inside of it was a shot of them live on stage. And I would put that on my record player and I would sit and imagine that I was back there that night. Well, actually it was recorded over 2 nights. And I would sit and I would imagine that I was at those. But Larry and Jana, later in our life, Larry and Jana, I mean, honestly, I would not be sitting in this chair if it wasn't for Larry.
Wow.
He spoke into my life at a point when nobody else could. And they are dear. He was a dear, precious friend, and our hearts go out to Jana tonight. I will say this. I will share one thing that Tam and I talked about this morning. We were having coffee, and it was such an emotional day today because it was, 5 minutes of crying, 5 minutes of laughing. If you knew Larry, that is Larry, because I've never met anybody that knew the Word of God more than that guy did. They were riding together in a van once, and Jana looked at him and said, "Well, Larry, have you ever read the Bible cover to cover?" And it stumped him. And he took the next exit and got off, went into a store and bought a large print Bible and started that day. And over the next 5 years, he would read it cover to cover anywhere from 5 to 7 times. I can't tell you how many times I would be struggling to find, okay, what's this? And I'd just dial him at 10:30 at night and go, "Hey, Larry, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah, that's Ephesians 4, blah, blah, blah." And he knew immediately where it was. But they used to come to the house all the time for dinner. And it was quite comical because if you've ever been around him, he's a train wreck. He was just a train wreck. And the first time he came to our house, he broke a glass. We're sitting there on the table. He did something and he went boom, and it goes flying off the table, breaks. We all laughed. The next time, literally like a month later, they come back to the house for dinner. He broke, I believe it was a coffee cup. Literally like 2 months later, they come back and he broke the chair he was sitting in. And so we started joking, we're saying, "Man, we can't afford to have you over anymore because you break something." So literally like 2 or 3 months later, he comes back to the house and we go through the entire meal, and we always played a game afterwards because it was great entertainment. The game didn't matter. It was just us laughing and telling stories. And we finish up the night and we're like, "Man, we're so proud of you. You didn't break anything." And they start to walk out the front door, and he starts to do this little jig, like a little hallelujah jig, and hangs his coat on. My wife had these 2 matching topiaries on the front porch, and he hangs his coat on one of them and knocks it right off. The base shatters into a million pieces. It snaps into, and Tam and I just start cackling. Now, mind you, this is 12:30 at night. Our neighbors had to have thought we were nuts, and we're cackling. Larry is cracking up, and Jana is just both hands on her hips and going, "Larry Henson, I just can't take you anywhere. We're never going to be coming back to Tamara and Gus's house anymore." And so from that point on, every time he would come to the house, the first thing he'd do would go, "Hey, what do you got that I can break this time?" It was a standing thing, But yeah, it was what a shock,
Yeah.
But we'll see him again, and soon.
Sure will. That sound.
Oh,
that sound.
Yep. Yeah, none like him.
None
And
like
what's
him.
amazing, he was a great singer, and he had the the blessing and the unfortunate side of standing next to Kenny, because everybody always talked about how great Kenny was. Kenny was an amazing singer, but Larry was a great and amazing singer in his own right.
Yeah. That song, I love that song right there. Seawalker, such a good song.
He's so young in that shot.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
I have a question to Josh, though, before we move on.
Go.
It's something that disturbed me. You said you didn't know the Hensons because of where you grew up. What cave did you...
Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Union County, Florida.
They knew the Hensons in Florida.
This is North Florida. This is the part of Florida that you pass to go to what you think is Florida. And nobody came to Rayford. Nobody. Except Squire Parsons.
Well, those in prison. I mean, I'm headed to Rayford. Soon I'll get my transfer from the warden.
That's true. It was a prison town. No one ever came. So I never knew the genre existed, much less who all was in it. Until I got into gospel music. Crazy. Oh, thank you guys for joining us. Everyone, good to see you online. Thanks for sticking with us, y'all. It's great. Remember, for those who are just joining us, you're going to win a free shirt and free CD, the 30th person to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Tonight we will announce the winner. Now we have, this is my favorite part of what we did the last time. Tony Wood, songwriting extraordinaire Tony Wood. He was with us last time. He was part writer on Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch. And he also was a co-writer on Fear Not. The gorgeous Kenna West.
Yeah.
The gorgeous
Look at me.
Kenna West.
I'm in my ball cap because I have corona hair. I need a haircut. Not only do I need a haircut, I need a color. I look like a calico cat. So
We
you're getting a
all
ball
have
cap.
corona hair. We all have corona hair. And if I'm not mistaken, happy anniversary to you and Carrie. Was that yesterday?
Thank you.
You're welcome.
28 years. Thank
28.
you.
My gosh, why don't y'all commit to something?
I know. It's the longest we've ever done anything. This is crazy.
And then
But I
we
feel like
have
I can see us here, and I'm like Paul Lynde right in the middle. So that's crazy.
Paul Lynde.
Yeah. Y'all keep talking. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. And then
I'll
we
have a
have
beverage.
one of my favorite people in the whole wide world, and he knows it because I've told him a million times. Producer, songwriter, composer extraordinaire, Wayne Hahn.
Yes. Hello again.
Hello again. And I have to say, I have to apologize. So the last video we did Healer Hasn't Lost His Touch, #1 online celebration. Mm-hmm. And I was so focused on trying to get the songwriters that I completely forgot to include the producer.
I didn't get any cake or ice cream. Or
Nothing.
anything.
Hey, I'm going to help your feelings. Neither did we.
Oh, okay. Fine.
And but Wayne is also co-writer on Fear Not. And if I'm not mistaken, we heard this song in 2016.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't put it on hold, but you pitched it to us for the Here For You record. Mm-hmm. But we passed on it, and thankfully, no one recorded it.
Well, Gary came up about 3 weeks after we'd finished the record and said, "Hey, I think we passed on a song, but don't let anybody else hear it until the next record." So we purposely held it for you.
Awesome.
So for 3 years, Wayne held that song. But I just knew, I knew that we were supposed to do that song. And, sometimes as an artist, we pass on songs hindsight. And I regret it ever since. And but you know what? God had a plan, because we thought that was going to be the first single off of this new project, Living the Stories. But I think I called you, Wayne. I said, Wayne, we're going to go with a different song. Let's go with that second song out. And sure enough, timely, God had a plan.
Yeah.
It might not have had the impact 2 or 3 years ago that it has right now. Speaking to the time, you trust God in all of that. Gosh,
Amen.
Tony, don't we always talk about the sovereignty of God in our songwriting? Like you You write a great song and it's on hold, and then the artist, you think it's going to cut it and it's going to do something out there in the world, for people. It's going to touch hearts and move through the church and do a beautiful thing. And then they let it go. And then you cry, or maybe not cry. I did years ago. Now I'm just kind of used to it. But then you tuck those things up under the sovereignty of God and know that He has a purpose and a plan and a timing. And look at the timing of this release. It's clearly the Lord.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because really all you can do is control what goes on in the writing room, trying to be as excellent as you can in the moment. Make sure you get the message as clear as you can get it. Nothing that could be misunderstood. And then generally after that, you kind of got to let it go. And like you said, kind of fall into the sovereignty of God as far as finding the right artist at the right time along the way for them, and trust that partnership. Gosh.
Absolutely. Well, and I am really curious, and we talked some about songwriting last time, but a song like this, and you're right, how clear of a message, and I don't think you could get a clearer message than just fear not, chill out, don't fear, and really coming to that conclusion. How did you three come to that, okay, this is what this song is going to say? How did that happen? Because it's one thing to write a song about, fear is not of God and blah, 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 blah. But then to just say, fear not. It's it's an incredible, poignant, blunt statement. How do you do that? How do you write a song like that, really?
Well, whose idea was it? Do y'all remember? Because I don't.
I don't remember whose idea it was. I do remember at first saying, when people hear the phrase, especially in Christendom, the words "fear not," they immediately go to the Christmas story.
Yeah.
And we were talking about how we'd not heard that theme, although those words are used throughout the year, but we'd never heard that in a song, as far as a non-seasonal song.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I think that sparked they got the ball rolling. I do know that.
Right.
Here's what I love about it. Oh, go ahead.
You go.
I was just thinking, when I'm sitting in a writer's room, and you guys might have covered this the other night when you talked to Tony last, and the guys I think will say this, when an idea shows up in the room, there's a few gates it goes through in my head before we start. And it's kind of like, okay, that idea, is that something people need to hear? Well, yes, clearly, because it's every time, how many times do we see it throughout the Old Testament? And Isaiah speaks of it beautifully, which is where it speaks to me. And we'll talk about that in a minute, maybe, or even Paul. It's clearly an issue that we need the counsel of God's word about, to remind us where to set our heart and our eyes and those kind of things, especially in times like this, where it's easy to worry about a paycheck or, family being sick or whatever. But it keeps our faith tethered to the Lord and our eyes on Him. So I think I always think that does an audience need to hear that? Yeah. Does an artist want to sing that? Yeah. And then it's just the fun part of writing the song. It was a joy.
And I think in this one too, deciding the tempo of the song had a whole lot to do with it. Because I know that would have been an early question I would have asked. And I'm pretty sure Wayne was like going, well, let's see how much energy, see how much tempo we can have in this. And I kind of want to know the musical color too. This track, this melody, man, I don't know, there's some joy in it. You could write a really heavy ballad, Fear Not. I feel like I may have heard some of those along the way. And if his answer had come back and said, oh, it's a ballad, this would have been a completely different song. The piece that really intrigued me was, okay, fear not and yet happy.
Yeah, a happy song.
You got to start feeling that inside. But you just take some moments in the writer's room to start going, okay, fear not, but it's not beating somebody up. It's just kind of this. And I think that's one of the reasons why there's so much repetition in the chorus, just the way, fear not, John, just the way that hits over and over again. There's fun in that to me.
Yeah.
It's kind of it's a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in this one.
Well, I'm glad that tempo-wise, because you brought that up, I'm glad that with the lyric that's there and the strong message that it is, that the tempo's not any faster, because if there had been any more words and it had been any faster, Gary would have lost his upper set.
Oh,
Well, I want to credit
Honestly,
Wayne for
the
that.
second half of that bridge has enough lyric in it for a whole nother song. So you guys are really gracious on just those.
We got a little excited talking about who
Yeah.
God was in that one. We can cram a little bit more in that.
I do think the magic of that song, if I can say that word and not be offensive to anybody, the cool thing is to me what Wayne brings. And we were in room 2. I so remember, and the piano is in the corner. And I like music. Music makes me think of words. And Wayne is playing, and he has this rhythmic way. And then he goes, if you know numbers, the number system, he goes to a 2 chord at the top of the verse. If you don't know what that means, you'll still think it's cool when you hear it. And I'd never heard that in my life. I'd never heard anybody do that. And that's Wayne, you know? And I'm like, then I was excited. I'm thinking, this is going to be good. This is going to be good.
That's
I was
cool.
so happy to be in the room that day.
There's a little music history lesson there too. If you go back to late classical, what they call the late classical period, early romantic period, and the composer who took us there was Beethoven. And one of the things that he introduced to the world at large musically that we had never heard was everything started on 1, the downbeat for all of these hundreds and hundreds of years. And Beethoven had a way of prepping with the beat before and then putting the downbeat. And we can really thank him for the fear not. The operative word is not. Because you don't want to put too much emphasis on the word fear.
Yeah.
So anyway, there's something that's pleasing to the ear. That's the pickup and the land. And that goes all the way back hundreds of years ago to Beethoven.
wow. That's awesome.
That's why I love Wayne Hahn.
Wayne,
Yeah.
Nerd.
is, the word fear itself can be a negative, but this music turned it to a positive.
Right.
Fear not.
It's an invitation. The song is an invitation to not be afraid. Is
That's right.
it not beautiful? I mean,
Very.
it just turns the whole thought on its head.
Very
And
encouraging.
I love that.
And Ken, the first thing you told me when I called you one night and said, "Hey, we're putting this song on hold," you went directly, "Oh, that's the song that we went on the 2." You went straight to the music part.
Yeah. It's so cool. I'm kind of like a song nerd. That's just Wayne. And I'm thinking, oh my word, has anybody ever done this? Because this is a first. This is awesome. I just, he's a genius.
Somebody's done it. Not me.
Stuff.
There's nothing new under the sun.
Well,
Don't tell me,
Beethoven, but
Wayne,
it's been a
because right
couple
now you're
hundred
like my
years
hero.
before,
Don't-
since anything happened last with old Beethoven.
Yeah, right.
Oh, Beethoven.
And too, Wayne, you as our producer, this is our second album with you. You have taken Tribute and molded our style to what we need to be. We were sort of in limbo trying to figure out exactly where we were. And I think you and I spoke about that. And to be able to take songs like this that I would have never dreamed of Tribute Quartet singing, but now has become our song, and that's incredible to me.
It's just a lot of trial and error, and it's finding your voice. I tell that to any artist, find your voice, and that don't feel defeated if you don't find that in the first year or first 2 years. You've got to grow and mature musically, and eventually you start landing, and it becomes your own unique style and sound. And that's what I love doing, is helping people get to that point.
Awesome.
It's so interesting. Y'all don't know how interesting of a conversation this is to me.
He's bored.
I'm not bored.
He said Beethoven. He's got to be happy.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, so, Wayne, when you were producing this song, and I understand listening to the demo, compared to the actual cut of the song, and I think this actually kind of takes back to something Anthony said in our teaser video for the record, Living the Stories. There's something for you hear a demo a certain way, and then you actually have it come out in the production completely different than what the demo sounded like.
You know, sometimes I'll have to say I really would rather hear the work tape the day the writers write it, because at that point it hasn't been, for lack of a better word, and I can't think of one, tainted by someone else's idea. Or because a lot of times in a demo session, it's not about the feel. It's about, I have to get 4 songs in an hour because we're on a budget, and here's the first thing that comes to my mind. And I think so many songs get passed over because they don't hear through the demo or through the simple arrangement that the piano player or the producer or the college student or whoever was in there didn't have time to do. So you have to hear through that, and it's very tough. So I even a lot of times tell people, don't send me the demo, just send me the work tape, because for some strange reason, people sometimes hear through that better than they do something actually produced.
That's interesting. That's an interesting point.
Well, that's what I need to start listening to, because every demo I think I've ever heard that Tribute's ever recorded, I don't think I've ever liked any of them. I mean, the finished product is so much different than what you hear, and I just don't have. I mean, musically, I sing. I played trumpet in high school, but that's, you know, I can't do like you or Josh or Tony. If Tony, you play, right? Tony, you play? Yeah,
a little piano, not much.
I just can't take a song in that stage and add it all up in my head to the equation of what it could be at the end, like you guys do. And I mean, all of you in your own right are lyrical geniuses, but to also have the musical aspect of that, to be able to say, you know what, I can hear this married with this lyric in this way, and to hear through exactly what you're talking about, Wayne, which is whatever idea has been thrown into that, and whatever, you know, that demo, that work tape has become a demo, and whatever it was colored with, I just don't hear that. And I mean, we've had a lot of great songs that when I heard them the first time, I thought, gosh, this is not going to be good. But I just don't have that ability to color that in the way that you guys do. And I really appreciate that you have that ability to not only to write, but to also hear through someone else's writing.
I think that's the beauty of a producer, because, I mean, even as I produce mostly, and songwriting I don't get to do that a ton, but even as a songwriter, when I've heard another producer take something of mine that I've written or co-written and their idea to it, and there's so many times I've gone up to like a Brown Bannister or Roger Talley or David Clydesdale even and said, whoa, boy, I didn't even think that way, and you did. I mean, and I'm a producer, so like I say, it's the beauty of the trust you put into the pilot or the engineer, if you will, to steer that, and it's a trust issue, because you can fall on your face if you're not careful. I have before.
Well, it's the mastercraft of the artist. You know, what you just said there is to walk up to someone else who you have released that responsibility, that trust to that person, but you're also trusting their artistry and their craft to be able to take that and paint layers into that melody that maybe you yourself didn't see.
Right.
Boy, Anthony, you're hitting the dilemma that we face as writers with every song along the way, is that some artists, some producers, some A&R people at labels are so creative and can imagine that you give them a bare bones sketch of like a piano and a vocal, and they hear what the drums do, they hear what the strings come in, they know exactly the style. And then there are others along the way that you don't know, and you don't know from person to person, and we don't know which hands most songs are going to fall into. Some people, you really do have to sketch it all the way out and kind of paint it and trust that, okay, we put it in this key, we put it at this tempo. We had to make some decisions along the way, but boy, somebody, if they want the song, they could hear it a little bit different. I've had songs come back that were just like mind-blowingly beautiful and different, and just like, holy cow, I thought I knew. I wrote it. I thought I knew how it was supposed to sound. It's like just surprised. And every once in a while, you know, there's one you come back and go, wow, I didn't know they were going to quite do that to it. But
what title would that be, Tony?
Call me later.
No. Most
Kidding.
of the time. Yeah. That's
it's a
rare
songwriting
one.
joke.
But But we have to decide: is this a song that we feel like we have to sketch it out a little bit, or is this one? It's funny. It seems a little trickier with tempo, with up tempo. Sometimes with a ballad, a good piano and a vocal. It's like if you can't kind of hear that this thing swells up on the second chorus, you know what you would do live with it, and so everybody's on page. But the up tempo songs are just a little bit trickier for an artist to go, that's a pocket we're needing, or does it sound too much like another pocket that they did on the last record? It's tough. We win and we lose on all the fronts, and artists the same thing. Artists go, that's exactly what I need, and sometimes artists will miss a song along the way. It's just the kind of the gamble with every song we take.
Sometimes they'll hold it for 3 years.
I've heard of that happening sometimes.
One of the questions that we get being on the road from the fans is, did they write that song just for you? So I guess the question from a lot of the fans who maybe are watching tonight, do you go into some of your sessions saying, okay, we're writing this song today for a specific artist? Or I guess that's what they love to know that. Do you write for a specific artist, or in general, what would that be?
A little bit of both. I think sometimes that we have a target because we get those who's looking. Someone will call you and say, hey, we're looking for a song. And you're thinking, okay, it's tribute. All right. That might work for them. It's good, quartet. And then you might get someone like Ivan Parker who's looking, who you might sing the same song, but you might approach him a little differently. So and then it's according to who's looking. And then sometimes you're just like we were, and the three of us had never gotten together before and haven't since, I don't think. Anyway, it was just a beautiful thing to get in the studio with no agenda other than writing a great idea.
Yeah.
So it varies.
That seems to be the most productive.
Yeah. Go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
That seems to be the most productive way to approach it. We are mindful of who's looking, but to sit down and say, we're going to write a song for the X artist. We've got a catalog full of songs that when that artist did not cut the song, it was so them that it didn't work for anybody else. I would rather just walk in, mindful of who's looking, but to go, okay, what is the best song that we could write today? Just what are we passionate about?
But I do think even with that, I might even add to that, like I try to write towards something. So I have a sound in my head to land somewhere. And so I think it's because I've produced my own little records. This doesn't count because Wayne Hanna's on this call, but my own little records. And so if I have a sense of how a song could sound, like, oh, if it's Americana feeling, that feels Neelan-ish, Isaacs-ish, and that feel will then dictate how I approach a lyric and a melody. Or if it's a Southern gospel fast song, I'll think, oh, that's a good closer. That would work for a number of quartets, traditional quartets. And then even if I don't have a person in mind or a group, that's super traditional quartet. Let's go chase it that way. Because you have to flavor it somehow. And so it's easier for me than writing anything than writing toward a sound, even if it's not a group. But it's often if a song shows up in a room and it's like a girl song, if it's, oh, that feels like Karen Peck might say it. She would say it different than Sherry Easter, and yet it's similar, but it's still different. So those kind of things I think influence how we approach it, even if they're looking or not. I shoot for something in my head. That helps me. Does it help you guys sometimes? Fellas, you're one screen over. I can't see you.
No, not at all.
You're one screen that way.
Yes, it does. It's absolutely.
Yeah.
Doug Nye has a question. Said, how much liberty does the artist have with changes with the producer?
Off with his head.
Let me answer that, Doug. We trust the producer.
No.
We do trust the producer.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I always want artists to know is never feel afraid to approach me if you think we're going down the wrong path. And a lot of times I'll turn around and look and say, we heading down the right road here. And sometimes they'll be like, or they're crying, or they're like, I trust you. Or they're like, no, Nope, no. This is just not going there. So
Here's the deal. We've always, especially as Tribute, we know that the producers that we have had, and we've been very blessed to have, changes with the product. Well, now, Douglas, come on, friend. You done changed your question now. I meant product with the producer. I don't know what that means. But that was a good question. Nonetheless, I will say we've been blessed to have fantastic producers. And there's not a whole lot of argument going on because we know the producer has a certain sound that he's aiming for that is to help that song do its job. Mm-hmm. And so, especially with Tribute, there's not a whole lot of
well, it's trusting in the brush and the hand of the person that that Wayne is as the producer in this facet of the conversation. It's trusting that he sees the entire canvas to the best of his ability. That doesn't mean that he says this is going to be great and it actually is, but it's trusting his experience. It's trusting his knowledge of the market and the people and the music and the instrumentation and the lyric and how all of those things, not just the words and not just the music, but trusting that in the master's hand, that of God has already ordained each of those people to be in the positions that they should, as the writer, as the musicians, as the producer, as the vocalist, as of all those different things. And that you're trusting that in that moment, Wayne sees the canvas and sees what he wants on the canvas. And we're trusting that he knows the material, he knows the quality, he knows what he wants to put on that paper. And it's our job to do our best. Obviously, if we see something or hear something, to point it out and go, hey, what do you think about this? But you're also placing that trust in somebody who knows music and who knows people.
And staying on budget.
Yeah, well, yeah.
There is that.
Right there will preach.
Well, I think
so. You've got to do all of that in under $50.
Yeah, exactly.
And think radio. You also have to ponder radio the whole time too. So he has more hats going. I think people think you just come in and he tells the musicians what to play, or something. But it's all of it. It's all of it, and that's a hard thing.
Yeah.
This was my first time to actually get to work with Wayne. And I was really excited about that because I've been in and around this business for a lot of years and had never got to work with him as an artist. And I told him, what I loved about working with him is exactly what he said earlier. He understands the growth and the process, and he looks at trying to, like with this project, trying to build and nurture Tribute's sound and signature in a project. And I enjoyed the process immensely this time. It was great. And that's definitely a nod to Wayne, your talents and your abilities. It was a pleasure.
Oh, well, it's always fun. I mean, 25 years this year. And it's just as fun.
That's awesome.
As fun as it was.
That's what I love.
Just to text me and ask the writers, how long did it take you to write this song? How long did it take you to finish Fear Not?
Couple hours.
Mm-hmm. It's about a 2.5 to 3 hour kind of pretty normal session.
But with that question, it's usually asked by a writer. Don't let that hinder you if you're writing your own song.
Yeah.
There have been times where we have another session in the afternoon or something, and we'll say, let's come back to this.
Yeah.
But it's seasoned writers. I go in with Tony and Kenna, and I know that pretty much in 3 hours, if we know the direction we want to go into, that it will finish. And they do this every day. They do it way more than I do. So I always tell writers, yes, we might have finished this in 2 or 3 hours, but I'm writing with people who do this every day. So don't feel like you have to pressure yourself to finish a song in 3 hours when it may take 3 days.
And
it takes
you've
as long as it.
Got to always be as true. That's exactly what I was going to say. You got to be true to the song. There's some songs that it's just like 30 minutes in, it's like, we know what to do. Oh, you just kind of block it out and you know what all the sections have to do. There are others, there are days where you just kind of, with the same group of people you write with a lot, and you're just looking at the wall. You can't make it come, and you know enough not to force it, just to let it kind of be born in its own time, because you want it to be right. Because if it's not right, it's not going to serve anybody. So there are definitely songs along the way where you go, okay, it's going to take another day. Let's go home, think about this, and come back, or we finish it up, throwing lines back and forth through email. But you got to stay true to the song.
Yeah. Yes.
Absolutely. Well, I think I can say on behalf of all of us and of the people who are watching, thank you three for birthing an incredible song.
Yay, and thank you, because I'm glad this is over, because I haven't eaten in 30 minutes.
I knew you looked famished.
I have set timers in my house, so I'll quit eating. I'm still starving. I'm telling you, I get you, brother.
I'm claiming right now
about
that
In-N-Out burgers.
I'm claiming it goes #1, and we'll have this meeting again in a few months.
Oh, wow. Yes and amen.
Absolutely. And I think we have a winner for our giveaway tonight. Our winner is Riley Wheeler. Riley Wheeler, congratulations.
Yay, Riley Wheeler.
You have won our brand new shirt and CD, Living the Stories. Thank you all so much for joining us. Now, for those that are with us live right now, I'm about to, you're going to, if you haven't seen the new lyric video that released last week, now is your chance. If you are not watching this live, and it is not April 23rd, 2020 anymore, you can click on the suggested video right here in this YouTube video and watch the lyric video. It's a fantastic song, and we have Ken West, Tony Wood, and Wayne Hahn to attribute that to. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for joining us. And everyone, go share this video. Be sure you subscribe to this channel, YouTube channel. Subscribe and hit the bell. That way you know whenever we do another live. You're going to want to know. People come to us all the time and say, how do I know what? You click on the bell. Click subscribe. And then you'll know. All right. Thank you, lady and gentlemen. And we'll see you all later. Here is the lyric video for Fear Not.